do this today either, but I thought I should because it's a certain date today. So we're gonna see if someone turns up, and that would be happy because then I can list up play some things, what I've been up to and that type of things, and what's going on in the closest future at least. And I guess we're gonna have to wait and see because I don't know what's going on. See if someone turns up because they don't know that I'm here. So it's Sunday, not that late in daytime. I'm gonna see what the clock is. It's 11 a.m. So it's early. I guess Americans might be still sleeping. In UK they might be up now, and yeah, and it's very muggy day, so it's not that nice. So I'm still gonna wait and see if someone turns up. It would be fun because it's not that fun to be alone and just sit here and bubble, because today is a special day. It's 10 months post-op since I had my surgery, and believe it or not, my BMI is down to 24.1. So that is a big journey I have done. And I see someone have joined, I don't know who, but yeah. So it's nothing special today. So if you want to ask something, please read it, put that down in the comment. But don't be rude. If you don't like the things you see or my content, you can just go away. But I just wanted to do a spontaneous as usual. And last night I actually was watching Star Raven's Eternity, her live, and she was celebrating 5,000 subscribers. Can you imagine that? 5,000 subscribers she have now. And she do a lot of amazing stuff like do-it-yourself project and a lot of makeup tutorials and hauls and that type of things. And sometimes with the music too, and she have adorable cats, and of course the husband is often very close in the videos, and sometimes you can see at least some of the kids. And I think she's amazing. She's from UK, Brighton, and if you haven't checked her out before, I think you should do that because she's a really nice goth YouTuber too. And yeah, like I said, it's now 10 months post-op since I had my surgery, and there's a lot of things going on. Not that much has changed really, more than that my sizes is going down, so it's really hard to know what I'm gonna shop. But I need to start replace things. I probably have to go through my wardrobe again because some things not gonna look great anymore, and even if some things can be used oversized, some are looking ridiculous on now or don't even stay up, so it's time to replace. But I can't afford to replace them from expensive brands, like I already had some of them, like Killstone, that type of things. That's not gonna happen because that costs a lot of money. And then yeah, fast fashion, you're thinking, yeah, that's the way for me to go at least. But you have to remember, even more expensive brands can be fast fashion if you just use it for buying, to show it once, or maybe use it once and never use it anymore. Then it's fast fashion, no matter what you buy. And if you buy with your head, buy a style you actually like, and check all the reviews, the informations, you're not going to be disappointed. Also taking calculation, if the things are very cheap, you can't really expect a super quality either. See who's here. Hello Dizzy, nice to see you. I think I missed you in Star Raven's live yesterday because I had to go about 1 hour before she finished that, but I actually caught her live and it was superb. It was really fun when she did all the games. How are you today then? Here is very muggy today, so it's really hard to dress because I can't have the fan on, and it's not directly hot, but it's still hot in this muggy way. And yeah, we had a lot of rain too, so it's hard. And like I said, I need to start replace clothes now, but I have a bit of things coming for another type of project that I'm gonna do. And hopefully I get the things latest on Tuesday, so I can do a video about it next weekend, because I'm gonna do a do-it-yourself things for the home. And Trevor have already started to help me because I bought something on the thrift shop, and we had to replace another thing. But I'm not gonna tell what, because you're gonna have to see that in the video. I'm doing good too, thank you. It's just that I wish that I had longer vacation or something, but the last days, and actually even next week, I'm gonna work in another part of the company, and actually that feels so much better, because even if they have a lot to do, it's less stressful. It's not like where I work that is also stress, so you can't really relax when you're coming home. And I had a lot of headaches latest days too, but I didn't have that much now the latest day. And if you saw my posting yesterday in the community tab, you saw that we were away to a medieval days in Kungälv, that is north about Gothenburg when you're driving towards Oslo in Norway. I don't know who you are, but don't look at me, my ba. If you don't want to be nice or something, you can just leave. You don't have to hang around, because we goths are not that stupid, so we have to bully each other or something. And if you're not a goth or something, and not interested in goth subculture anyway, so it's not for you. So leave the live stream, please. Don't be rude. The world is crazy enough as it is. Yeah. And like I said to Dizzy, that Trevor and I went to the medieval days in Kungälv yesterday. I did miss the tournaments. I did want to see them, but that costed a lot more. It should be over the double price to go in there. And I thought that I could save the money. And Trevor is like he is, the Englishman, that I have seen one, so I don't have to see another one. And I was thinking, oh, I should want to see one, because I think that. And I know that this company, what you should call them, that coming and do these tournaments, they are a big part of the medieval days on Gotland. They have a medieval week on Gotland every year, and it's coming people from all over the world to just join this happening, and they are from Gotland and they do these things too. Hello Phoenix, how is it? Up already in UK? I see both Dizzy and Phoenix is here. This is from US, so I don't really know the time where you are, Dizzy, because I know UK is 1 hour after Sweden, so at least they have early day, and you might be in the middle of the night or very early morning or something, I guess. I don't know how much time zones is in between. But yeah, like I said, it's coming up a video next week about the medieval days, and I hope people are gonna like it. It's not the normal goth content maybe, but I think it's nice to show that a goth don't have to be just a goth. A goth can have so many different interests. You can actually do whatever you want. Goth is just the subculture that is music based, and then you can have your expressions. You don't have to look like one, but you can do whatever you want. You can look like a trad goth, a classic goth, whatever, or comfy goth, or nothing at all. It's just up to you what you do with it. Hur långt hår jag har? He asked how long my hair is. It's just this bit. It's not that long actually. And I'm not sure I want to have that much longer. Jag vet inte om jag vill ha så mycket längre, men det är ner till brösten ungefär. Down to my boobs, I should say. So that's the length I have right now, and I'm not sure I'm gonna have that much longer, at least for a while, because I need to grow out my hair a lot, because after my weight loss I lost over the double of it. I'm not sure, Benjamin, who you are, but I only smell my hair if I think I have used something that smells good, like a shampoo or something, or conditioner, especially when you've been to the hairdresser. But if you're into this thing for just a sexual type of things, this is not the channel for you either. But I only smell my hair when I've been to like the hairdresser or used something on it that smells good. Hello Ramina, and thank you. Thank you very much. I'm happy you love the channel too. Like I said, I do a lot of different things. So it's not just the goth stuff, but I hope that people gonna discover more music, even if that's goth YouTuber that is very great when it comes to go down on the details when it comes to different type of music inside the gothic subculture. But of course, if you're goth, you can listen to other type of stuff too. You don't have just to listen to that. And that's why I am a Generation X. So I am very much into the 80s. I also into punk. I'm also into metal and that type of things. It's all about my mood, if my mood is right. And I do love Irish and Scottish music too, like the folk music. And see if there's any fun. Phoenix, yeah, I'm doing fine. I'm very great because we went away to medieval days yesterday, but it will be a video next weekend about it. Hello to the don't look at my, and hey is Swedish hello, if someone that don't speak Swedish wonder. So it's hey, hello. So like I said, I'm doing fine, and we had a great day yesterday, and we had luck with the weather too, because during the time it was a bit muggy, but I can't complain. If I looked how the days before been, so thunder, heavy rain and everything like that, and in the beginning of the week even very cold, more like late autumn. And that's very strange because it's July and you read about Spain and all the type of things that have very hot for the moment, even have warnings for people to go outside because it's fatal now with the temperature. So I think this summer is really crazy right now. You don't even know how it's gonna end. So I hope it's not gonna mean that we're gonna have a very bad winter again, because this winter we had was so long. So I was happy when we actually could pass that bit, because I was so tired about this cold weather. I was so tired about the ice. I was tired about having snow that long too. So, and then the spring really didn't show up that early either. So, but then we had a really hot month, and I decorated the balcony. I was hoping that I'm gonna enjoy that a little much. Yeah, you heard right. I'm a goth that love to sit out on the balcony as long as it's not too hot or too sunny. But else I like to be outside sometimes too, and it's good actually to get some D vitamins inside your system, because the sun is giving you that too. Is there something else people want to know? So just ask and I'll see if I can answer something. And like I said before, next weekend I'm gonna film a project. I'm gonna do it yourself project, because I bought a thing from a thrift shop, and that's actually the one I recently discovered that is very cheap and actually have this type of prices that thrift shops should have, because they have been really expensive in Sweden. They've been very expensive for a long while, but this one actually had prices, so it's worth go there, and have very good things. And you can see that even the things I've discovered the time before have disappeared because they were great. So I was happy that I actually got that the skirt I bought the first time, and I'm happy I got the things I bought last time too, because I was after things. Yeah, they can be, but I live in Southwest, so usually we don't have that bad winters compared with North. But we had rough winters too, and the worst thing with my part when it's close to Gothenburg, that is a little more humid, muggy air even through the winter time. So it can be very hard to dress. And my dad was from Northern, up from Haparanda, that is very high up in the country. They have dry air. So when I was a little and went out there, when we went up to my granny, so I didn't think it felt the same, because it felt so much warmer, even if the temperature actually was colder. So it's a big deal where you are, but the winter can be rough, but usually not that rough. I usually wish that we don't have directly that much snow when you go close to Gothenburg. It's very rare that they actually have that much snow during the winter. It's going away very fast because it's close to the ocean and everything like that. But I live a little bit into the country from the west side scene, so you go a little more east from it, and that little bit do a lot of difference. And where I live is also been joking about all the raining parts. So when people said when I went over to UK, you're gonna hate it because it's raining all the time in UK, and I was thinking, do you really know where I'm from? I'm from the most rainy part in Sweden, at least what people say says. And actually, when I was little, I thought that was a good sign too, because when we were away on a vacation up to North or to Finland or something like that, so when we coming close to home, it's always started to rain. So I was thinking, okay, we're soon home because it's raining. But I think the natural explanation is because we are a bit from the ocean side, so the clouds have gone away a bit into the country, and then we come to my city that is Borås, and it's in the valley. And of course, what happens when the clouds reach that point? It's gonna rain. So that's maybe why it's much more rainy, because it's have different levels here. But I live a bit outside, so I live on a hill and everything like that, so we don't usually have that much. But this summer have been really rainy, and last night, oh my gosh, you couldn't even hear yourself think for a while because it was really pouring down. But I'm happy we live where we live, because it's in many parts just some hour away from here that being flooded, so even the highway has been underwater, so they have to stop the traffic. And I don't understand when I see pictures of people that actually drive into those water things. They must be stupid and not using the brake, because you don't drive out on a road if you can't see the road. And you see even the fences that usually run the road are under the level, or you don't see much of it. So I don't understand people. You're gonna ruin your car, and the insurance company maybe not gonna replace you either, so because they're gonna think you did it, and you should understand that it's not good for it, so don't do it. Hello, drug lord. How is Germany? Wie geht's hier? Or like I usually call you, the Dark Knight. Yeah, I think they are very crazy when they do that, and I have seen even from Italy and Switzerland, when people actually driving in, it's almost 1 meter deep. I'm not sure what you use for metric system, but in Sweden we use meter and kilometers and that. And the Swedish mile is not an English mile. The Swedish mile is 10 kilometers, so, or 10,000 meters. So I'm not that good in English miles. I can't really say how much it is, but I know that when I met Trevor and he said he was walking a lot of miles every day, I was thinking, oh gosh, he must be in good shape. Then I realized we didn't talk about the same mile. I was thinking Swedish mile, and he was talking about English miles. So we had a bit of a laugh when we realized that we didn't talk about the same thing. And how are things going in Germany then? Is it raining or something, or is it muggy like here in Sweden for the moment? It's very muggy, so everything is like glued to your body right now. So the clothes is not directly perfectly. Even your skin is sweating and that type of things. I'm happy if my makeup is staying, but I wanted to put on makeup because I haven't directly done that much makeup the latest weeks. I've not been directly in the mood for it. I need to be in the mood for it too. It's not just add on a mask, because I do it for myself. I don't do it for others. It's always great to have that type of weekend. And I think if you had been to Gothenburg this weekend, Dragua, you should love it if you went to Bohusfästning. I don't know if you went to Bohusfästning. I know you went to Marstrand and Karlstensfästning, but Bohusfästning has still today medieval days. And it's an amazing place too, with a lot of history about it was first both in Norwegian and Danish part, but then the Swedish took it back, and then it's been a very important point to stand against, especially the Danish people, that we always seems to be in war, even in the area close to where I live. You want to live your cave. It's up to everyone where you want to stay or not, because sometimes the cave can be really good, especially when you want to avoid those stupid people that is all around, especially at work. I don't really get what type of people there is nowadays, because they don't seem to use the brains in anything. And they just give you more work because they don't realize that if they don't do things the right way, they're gonna create a snowball effect. So if you have a small snowball and been up in the Alps and throw it downhill, it's gonna grow. It's gonna be like an avalanche or something in the end, and they don't understand that probably gonna be just the same at work. So, do you have any plans then? Because I know that I don't have much plans more than doing some projects and that type of things. I don't have any directly free time before my birthday, that is the 23rd of August, because I refused to work, so I took off. So I'm gonna have a little longer weekend. So I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do, and then I have to wait. I'm gonna have to wait to end of September, and then the great thing is gonna happen when we travel to UK. We haven't done that for soon 7 years, so that's gonna be great. Yeah, I sure want to go to Iceland too, but I'm not sure how it works with all the volcano activity right now, because it's part of Iceland that now is closed because you can't travel there because it's in a safe area and everything, and we never know what's going on because even Etna now started to get a little more live in Italy. So even the volcanoes start now to protest against the humans and think we are a rotten kind of species that needs to be taken away or something. It feels a little like a new ice age or something is coming, because the latest big ice age was actually from a supervolcano that is in North America, I think it is. And they just waited for them to start all over again because they go in cycles, and we start to come to the point when it's time for those too. And they were actually them that gave us the ice age in bigger part of Europe too. So that's gonna go really bad when they start. What I do for my living. I work in a warehouse, and mainly often with car parts in all sorts. We both warranty, inbound, outbound, you name it. But right now, for the latest day, I've been borrowed to another part of the company, and I actually do other stuff. But I'm still doing warehouse work. So I work with my hands and I lift heavy and everything like that. So because you just a goth and you look a certain way, don't mean that you don't do anything that is heavy or dirty. Yeah, and we didn't have that much to do either. More than that, we went for the medieval weekends, and that was a nice thing. Yeah, I was hoping that the weather should be good enough, and we had the luck, because in the end we didn't even know before the day before if it started to look like okay we can go, because in the weather forecast they said it should start rain already early during the day, but then it went a little later for every day, and I said okay we go, because I know we're not gonna stay till they finish the day, but we're gonna be there for some hours. So I thought that was a great thing, and that we could get out. But after we came home, it started to pour down. So I know that the bad weather started coming, because I could see the black clouds coming and everything. So, and every time when I see the black clouds, I'm thinking of some songs like Argo have someone. I think it's even named Black Clouds or something. And then you have Project Pitchfork, that is from Germany, that have Rain, that I love to listen to and even watch your video and that type of things. And of course we have The Cult, an old song that is also Rain. So there's a lot of songs coming up in my mind when it comes to rain. And of course we have Eurythmics, when you lived in the 80s, Here Comes the Rain Again, and we can go on. So yeah, so I work in a warehouse. Now I have weekend. I don't have any vacation directly yet, because I only took some days during the midsummer week to get off. So it shouldn't be too long. But I'm gonna have a later vacation because we're gonna travel, and we're gonna travel to UK, and hopefully gonna meet some friends and everything. At least we have planned to meet some of my goth friends that lives in Wales. So that's gonna be exciting, because I've never been in that part. I'm lucky I can't go more south. I should be very happy to go closer to London or Brighton or something, because you have Starhaven Eternity there. You have Jane Wilkes lives there too. It should be amazing to meet those ones too. But I don't have that many days. I don't have that type of money so I can travel everywhere. I should even want to go to Scotland because that's a dream too. But like Trevor said, if I'm gonna go to every part I want to see in Scotland, it's gonna be so long road trip and everything is so expensive. So we can't do everything at the same time because the distance is very long. And we don't really have a car there more than we can borrow his mom's one during the time and drive around. But I'm not sure if we go into Whitby or not. I have to see because I know that he wants to meet some of his friends that do these models with tanks and aircraft and that type of thing. They are not YouTubers, but they are on Instagram, and one is Michelle and the other one is Sanniz. And Brynarven is one called on Instagram, and Mochilia or something Michelle is calling it. I don't remember exactly how to pronounce the nick they're using, but they are two of my friends are gonna meet, and I'm looking forward. They are Eldergoths too, and I know Jan is a big decor fan and a mission fan and that type of things, and always going on those type of concerts. And Michelle is reading about some type of healing and that type of things, and do this education about it. So I hope she's gonna find her path on everything, and it sounds amazing that she actually got to learn it from people that doing those stuff for real. And where in Wales are you living in? Because it looks like a very nice place too. I have seen shorts and that type of things from Wales when it show all those incredible places that you can't believe is, and they look so beautiful too. So we have to see where we go. It's not just gonna be over the night, so it's not gonna stay there for a long because Trevor is from northwest and it's a little bit north about Blackpool, so we can't really travel that much forward and backwards when we just borrow a car too, and his mom gonna need it too, so we can't just say we're gonna take it now whilst we're here. That's not fair. So and we're gonna play by the ear and see where we're going. Maybe we go to Whitby again because I do love Whitby, but I'm gonna miss the Gothic weekend this time again, and that's a little sad because if we happen to travel closer to Halloween time, we could go there, but you can't do everything all the time. So yeah, I believe you. I have seen so much things from Wales and everything, and I should want to see the wild horses too, because I guess you had wild horses there too, if I'm not correctly wrong. Because I think it's from Wales I have seen the ponies running wild, and that would be amazing. And I know that I should want to see Cornwall too, but maybe another year. I have talked a little about getting those type of interrail cards maybe for another year and take some weeks and actually go by train everywhere, because it should be easy to bring gifts too and that type of thing, because then if you go on a flight you're restricted with things, and you can't really put down everything in your bag either of different reasons. So it's easier to go by a train and meet friends, and then you can just play by the ear. If you want to go up to Scotland or something, you can do that too, and then I can actually see Europe on the way too, because you need to go down at least to Denmark or directly to Germany, and from Germany maybe go to Dover-Calais or something to go over by that train, and that should be nice. I haven't been doing interrail since I was a young person, but I did do that when I was younger, and it was a nice way to actually travel and see more things that you don't usually see when you're on a road or on an aircraft or something. So it's gonna be exciting at least, but we have to see because it's gonna take some days to get along with the train too, so it depends on how much we want to spend time on things, but at least you can get for free. It's just a few trains you maybe have to put up for book seats and pay for that one, or some of the companies in UK that maybe are not under this thing, but you have time and then you can go with the flow. So if you don't plan too much, you're not gonna be disappointed either. You just go and see, because there's so many places I want to see, because I follow this Grim Life Collective, and Michael had his birthday not today but yesterday, and they have been to UK too, and it's just so many amazing places, both up from Scotland, northern UK, and even from southern. And I was thinking, when I see those places, I was thinking, oh, that comes on my bucket list because you can see schools and you can see coffees. It's so amazing places, and the graveyards. Not to just mention the graveyards. I do love them, and especially those really old looking and everything. And it's so amazing. I should want to be there, take lots of pics and film and whatever, just to save the memory that way too. But just to even experience it would be nice, and even go to France. And I should want to go to Prague too because they have a bone church there, and that would be amazing. But like I said, the latest year been tough. First we had a plague or whatever we should call that thing that stopped the most people's life for over 2 years, and then we got the Ukraine war started and had a big effect on everything, still have. And then you have the inflation and whatever. They're now blaming Israel and Palestine and all that type of thing. So I don't know what to do with the financial bit, because in Sweden the money is not worth that much compared with other countries. So it's really sad to see. But you can see that there is a lot of tourists now from other countries, and I bet they are here because for them they live like kings and queens because it's cheap to be here. While Swedes are more struggling if you're not born rich or have a very good paid work. I have okay wage compared with many, but still it don't last that long. So it's a little bit disappointed when you know that you have an okay pay, and the other years you could do things, but this year, even when you go and do the weekly shopping, you wonder, what the hell have I shopped this week? Because we have really looked on the prices, we have looked what we buy and everything, and it still costs a lot. So I don't know. Yeah, graveyards are the best. That's a place to be, or by the ocean or something else, when you can hear the water falls. And I actually had a tarot reading for me yesterday. I thought it should be a little fun to try that too. And my element was water, and my connection with some souls is the moon. So it was not really something new for me because I already knew about that, and I know that I love being close to water, no matter if it's the sea or a waterfall or moving water in some type of way, because that makes me relax. That's my chill town. And yeah, when people need that type of things, when they can just live the rest of the world for a while and just be yourself and relax, just let everything else fly away. That's amazing. And the moon, I always been feeling this thing about the moon too, especially the full moon. So I knew that should be a connection too. Yeah, it could be. You see water in my eyes. That was nice said. It might be because they are light blue, but they can be very dark too, depending on my mood. And some people say that they can be afraid of my eyes too when I get really angry, because they really change. But to reach that level, you have to be very stupid and do very stupid things too. And I think I need to start eat something. I'm actually gonna stick with a protein bar this time, because I'm gonna eat a little proper food later. I have already eaten proper breakfasts and that type of things. I have still to eat 6 times a day at least. And I actually found some of the protein bars actually works. This one is from a brand called Sanniz. I'm not sure you have it in your countries, but yeah, this one tastes good, and this one is they say it tastes like candy, and I actually do. And the one I choose today is the caramel chocolate one. So excuse if I'm talking about some chewing. I know that it's not polite, at least not if you're old-fashioned. I don't. That could be because I can't eat as much as people sometimes eat when they eat only once or twice. But if you eat the right stuff, that's gonna be effective. But I don't know where I'm going. Today is actually 10 months since I had my surgery. And I must say, I'm surprised. I'm surprised I have come to this point too, because I didn't think it should go this well. And it's still moving down. But I'm not sure I want to be that much more down. I know I have still that I can lose weight and that type of things, but I have a little more bigger bone structure too. So if I go in too much down, I'm gonna look too skinny too. And I really start to get this modern problems when it comes with a bigger weight loss, and that is not directly nice to sit down because suddenly you don't have any padding in your bone. So travel long distance with cars or something is terrible, or sit down too long. I'm not really used to sit down for a long time either because I'm too restless. And that's maybe why I should want to have a dog. But it's too expensive. Too expensive to get one. Then you got the insurance. They have gone ridiculous up. But the worst thing is the vet bills, even for the vaccination. And I read articles when people actually cry because they can't afford it. They can't even afford to put down the dog if they need to. So they're desperate now. And it makes me a bit sad because I so want to have a dog or a cat or something. But the cat is not safe in this because I can't secure our flat for it. And the highways is way too close and I'm responsible. I don't want to risk my cat come on the wrong side of the house or something. And maybe coming down to the highway and be hit by a car. Yeah, and most of the times I don't really like the most protein bars. It's some brands that I actually like now, but it's hard to find good ones. And I guess that when I fly over to UK, my problem is because it's gonna be a long day. It's gonna be 2 different flights. First, I'm gonna have to go to Copenhagen in Denmark, and from Denmark we're gonna fly to UK and Manchester, and from Manchester we're gonna need to travel by train. So I was thinking what I should do, and I think I'm gonna actually buy a lot of protein bars just in case I have something to get into my system, because I can be sick if I don't eat and fade out. It's even the same if I try to eat too much, because I need to listen to my body. And the most important is actually protein, but then is my multivitamins I need to take, because my body can't take from the food. But proteins comes first, and the latest I had to even add carbons, because I felt that I didn't have all time that much energy for my work, and my work is heavy, you move a lot and everything like that, so I need that too. And it's shown up that I felt better, I got more energy and everything, so I think I have a good structure now on my meals too. Eat maybe every 3rd hour or something, sometimes a little closer, sometimes I can wait a little. But I need to listen to my body. Yeah, I've been to Denmark sometimes, but not that often, and not many times I stayed overnight either. But I have been in Denmark and sleeping there. I've been to Copenhagen, for an example, and I have been to a motorcycle meeting when I was younger, that calls Holgedansk. And the only thing I can tell about Danish people, especially when you go in there, that they like to put the mayo on everything, and I hate mayo. I even try to say to them, don't put that on my potatoes and things. But they still put it all over, and I hate it. I hate that type of food. I don't like mayonnaise. It's disgusting. I always thought that. And I have been to Helsingør a lot of times because it's close to, if you go down to Helsingborg, not far away from Malmö, you can go just with a ferry that goes very quickly, like 20 minutes, and you come to Denmark. So many times people go there, and also taking the ferry from Gothenburg to Frederikshavn, and stayed on that side too. And Denmark is a very nice country too, but it's a bit more expensive there compared with the Swedish ones because their money have always been a little more valued than the Swedish one. But I think they have euro, might have euro nowadays. When I was younger, they had their own krona, but they have a little more worth in their value at least. But it's a nice country, especially when you go close to the ocean. And Malmö is a great place to be too, especially if you're close to the ocean and that type of things too. And I had friends there too, and I was very close to actually move there. I had a point in my life when I was thinking to live this part of the country. Some people wanted me to move up to Stockholm, but Stockholm had never been my thing. One part of me always wanted to live in Gothenburg, but it's expensive because it's the second largest city there, but it's a very nice place to be, and I can recommend if you want to go to Sweden, go to Gothenburg, especially summertime. And they have all the islands and everything, you can go easily for the day and everything, and lots of historical places. And then I had people that wanted me to move down to Malmö too, and I did love Malmö too because it's very great people too, even if they speak a little funny. It can be a little hard. The Swedes usually joke a little about the southern part because during a time that part of Sweden was Danish, and their accent is sometimes for some Swedes a little harder to understand because they're talking in a other type of way. So we joke that they are some type of Danish people. Ah, that's nice. You have to go and watch the ponies down in Phoenix because that sounds awesome, and I should really want to see them because I had never directly seen wild horses, and I mean wild horses, not something that people maybe let out in the summer times and then bring back from parts of the country where it's maybe not that much traffic or something. Yeah, it was very expensive to be in Stockholm during Taylor Swift, and I thought the prices was insane, but it was actually insane to go to Gothenburg during part. I don't remember which artist that they had there, but even the hotel prices, they went up so much, so it was ridiculous. But still, there were interviews, especially to this Taylor Swift in Stockholm, when they said that the people from Australia and US actually thought it was cheaper to go to Stockholm, be all concerts there and live on a hotel. It's still cheaper for them to go there compared with just one where they came from. And that made me think that it's a big difference when it comes to money depending on which country you are in. And it looks like even when people say they don't have that much money when they live in, like, example in US, they seem to have a lot more money than I have, and I'm not poor. So I don't get it. Yeah, I don't know that language, sadly. So if you want to comment something, you have to put down either in Swedish or in English. But Stockholm have some good parts too. I like to go and see Gamla stan, the old town, and watch the small special boutiques they have. Not the tourist ones, of course, but they have some excellent shops, and they have some alternative shops too. And then you have like Vasa, you see it? And the big boat Vasa that was sinking outside Stockholm in the river there. And I think Dragor have seen that for real too. And of course the Viking Museum, and they're not that far away either from that museum, so you have them just a little bit of part to walk to, that I can recommend people to go and see. Russians, I mean Pretty Woman. Okay, I have to say thank you. I can't Russian, so when I understood that I am goth and when did it happen? I should say actually that I always been dark inclined since I was a child, because I was hanging out as a child playing on the graveyards, and I've always been attracted to those horror stories and all that type of dark stuff, witchcraft, and all that type of things that some people are afraid of. And I'm Generation X. That means that I was there when goth started. And we didn't even know the word goth. I didn't know it before in the 90s, because where I grew up, it was in a smaller village. So all the people, there was some alternative way. It's not just goths and that type of thing. It was punkers, metalheads, and you name it. We had to stick together towards the mainstream people. So it was the music back then. We didn't know that it was labeled, because if you listen to many goths that actually was from that time, so it took a while before it even got the label goth, and it came from UK. So I'm not from UK, so I wish I'd been in UK at the Batcave and everything. That should be amazing, but it should have been possible if I had lived there, but I didn't. I lived in Sweden and we didn't have internet or something like that. So it take a long time, and it was first when internet came and some years after when it started to write about this title goth, then I knew what I was, because I didn't really fit in the boxes with my friends. I could like their things, but I was still different compared with them, and they were thinking, what the hell are you listening to now? And I said, I like it. But they didn't like my music, but I could listen to theirs. So I actually been myself from start. So I was born this way, more likely, and it was never a phase for me. I always been that. I never hide it. I maybe was a bit toned down when it came to my look, at least as long as I was home, because when we went out with friends, we changed how we look, sneaked out, put on the makeup and put on the clothes and everything like that. But we came back home like we looked like after we changed. So the parents knew that we didn't look like we looked like when we went out, but they couldn't do anything when we came back, so we had already done it. So united against Taylor Swift. It shouldn't be too harsh. Be happy that the mainstream people have something they can go, so we don't have to deal with them. I think that's a great way to see it. Let them have Taylor Swift so we can have our things for ourselves, because it's nothing worse than when something goes trendy. Yeah, it can be easy to get access to clothes and accessories and that type of things, but it's also have the thing that it can be misunderstood what the subculture is for. And they think it's all type of music and everything like that. Yeah, music can evolve, it can change, it can get a new face under the big umbrella, because it always starts on something and then it goes wild. It's the same with the metal music, for example. If you go and watch a documentary that talks about the different metal music, you're gonna understand it's not just one. It is maybe something in the top that started it, and then it goes to the side, but everything gonna go up, and sometimes they connect. And it's the same with the goth music too. And that's why we maybe have friends that is into the more industrial type of things. I have friends that call themselves goths in Sweden too, but it shows up that they were industrial people. But to understand that back in the days, during 90s and beginning of 2000, that type of things, in smaller places, the clubs have to put together more than one to actually be able to run the clubs. So it was very often goth and industrial, at least, was hanging together. So what are you other up to today? Are you just chilling or something or whatever? So it's not just me babbling about everything. And how many are looking forward to Halloween, even if you have Halloween all the time? I'm a little jealous about the States, because I've seen all those shops that already started with the Halloween stuff. And some stuff I can see, they are amazing. I wish I could have all that type of stuff, but I need to live bigger. I need my own castle. Just think of having your own castle and just decorate it as you wish. And even use those old medieval type of things, protection gears, what you call it, for the knights and everything, having them standing like a ghost or something. Maybe put some mechanics in it so they start to move and scare people. That should be amazing. Do like a horror house or something. That should fit me. But I'm looking forward to get into Halloween at least, because there can find more things, but Sweden is a little boring, and things are a little more cheap done many times and very pricey for what they are. And then you see things from very early time in the year, like now I've been already for some weeks now. I've seen them postings and videos about it, and I see all those amazing stuff, and I'm thinking, oh my god, I should want to have it. And Eldergoth, I saw a video from this morning. She been to different type of things, and she found this big Frankenstein's bride thing, and I fell in love. I should want to have that one. It was so beautiful. That should be nice. And she bought other nice stuff too. And I saw they had something new that I haven't seen here in Sweden, and it was those things that reminds a little bit about lava lamps, but I don't think they are lamps. But have a little more like this shiny, sparkly fluid and everything. And then it could be like a coffin with a skeleton. That was inside. There was this sparkly fluid, and the skeleton was lying in the coffin. And then they had like other stuff that was with the same type of liquid, and they were amazing. And I hope we're gonna get something like that over here too. But it's gonna take some months before it's gonna show up in our shops, because Halloween is not that big in Sweden. No one have written anything more yet. Couldn't see it, almost a 1 hour. So gonna see how long I'm gonna be, because I'm not gonna sit here forever. But I know that someone in the other part of the flat is actually enjoying his time to do whatever he wants without having me around bubbling his ear off or something. So, because when I go restless, I can be a bit annoying, because then I need to go and that. Or if I listen to music, I start to sing along or whatever. And if it's goth music especially, I can start to do some dance moves. And you have seen all those videos when they show people how to dance during the 80s. Their parents or teachers or whatever have to dance during the 80s. I think it's so funny to see, and actually some people really have the moves still, so I think it's fantastic, and I wish that more people could be like that even today, because I miss those times when people were actually meeting face to face, talking, didn't have the phones everywhere. Of course, I'm sitting and talking with my phone now, but that's a way for me to reach out to you, because we are not in the same place. We are all over the world, and different time zones and everything like that. For some people, I live in the future, because you haven't reached the time yet where you live. And yeah, it's very fascinating, the connection we can have this way, because we didn't have that during the 80s. It was a total different type of things to hang around with people, when you actually interact with people, where you listen with on the music together and everything like that. Didn't necessarily have to go out in a club. You can be in a car, out in the nature, whatever, and you brought the music with you, and they have this big player, cassette player with you. We had cassette tapes back then, and the biggest disaster was when these things wanted to shoot your favorite band and destroy it, and it was your favorite music on it, because sometimes it was really hard to get your music too. I haven't reached the time, because I live in Sweden, so for an example, UK is 1 hour behind. So if I have, like, what is the clock now? It's 11:40 a.m. here. So UK have 10:40, and of course US is not even close, depending on where in US they are from. So that's what I mean. I live in the future compared. But if someone from Russia, for example, start to talk here, they live in the future compared with me, because they are way before. So Finland is 1 hour before Sweden too. So, and you asked about Ramina, you asked about this goth scene and society over here. When you go to the bigger cities, example for Stockholm or something, they still have more things to do, more clubs and that type of things. Gothenburg have some, but it's very hard to get time together. If you're working like me, I can't go in the middle of a week if I'm gonna be up 4 a.m. That don't work, because it's a travel time and everything like that, and it shouldn't work for me, because then I should be able to work and get my money, so I could be able to actually pay my bills, or maybe even buy the things I want. But in my town is visible, not there anymore, sadly. I know there is goths in town, but they are much younger. And in Sweden, it's a little more about age, so people think I'm too old for them, because I might be even older than their parents. And I think it's a bit sad, because in other countries you can be together no matter age. It doesn't matter as long as the interest is the same. And I think it's sad because we have something to learn from each other and to discover things and that type of things. And elder can even learn younger about things too, because we've been there when it started and everything. But to be elder doesn't mean that you are an Eldergoth, because it has to do how long you've been into the scene. So you can be a young person too and still be an elder. Is Finland almost Russia for you? Don't say to a person from Finland. My mom is from Finland, and some parts of my dad's side and the Sami side is from Finland too. So don't say to them that it's like Russia, because then they should go mad. But actually, when you think about it, how some parts of Russia started, it's actually Swedes that is the reason to the name, because it was Swedes that came there and started it up. I don't think they are Scandinavia, because I think they're only into the Nordic country, but Finland is not Scandinavia, if I remember right. If someone have better information, so just put it down in the comment. But if I remember right, they are not a part of Scandinavia. Some people wrongly said it, but it's just the same that some people think Sweden and Switzerland is the same too. So you see, it's a long distance in between. And if you live in Germany like Drogo do, you know that Switzerland and Sweden is not the same. But Americans and other people think it's the same country, but it isn't. It's just maybe sound in some languages almost the same, depending on what they call the countries or the people in it. But you see, we are different countries no matter what. Switzerland. Oh, very funny. Maybe you should ask Switzerland if they want to come. But I'm not sure if that was right, but I was reading something in one of the newspapers that during this football thing, I'm not interested in football, but I was reading that Switzerland was a bit annoyed, so they have put up a big thing with a text, "We are not Sweden," because it seemed like someone had played the wrong national anthem during a game, and they played the Sweden one for Switzerland, so not so happy. No, but I know that it's a lot of people that don't know about other countries and that type of things. Yeah, I have got some of the states where they are, but I have a little clue on some of them at least. So at least I think Europeans have easier to put that in education, because Americans have 52 different states to keep in mind, and they can be also very focused at the big US and that type of things, and we are the place. So they forgot that it's a other part of the world too. It's a lot of other countries and a lot of space more than just the US. But I think let's go what it is, and if people are not interested to really get to know everything and they just assume, it's a little like people assume a lot about goths too. And you can see that in comments, you can see that even in live streams. I could see that during Star Ravens things too, that they assume so much about goths. And it makes me a little sad when you think about that. We're now living 2024 and nothing really has changed since I was a youngster either. So it's sometimes even get worse in some parts. So I feel it's a sad bit that we can't accept that we are different, and that it's have nothing to do with religion too, because many think a lot of that type of things, and I can't really understand how they can think that or make it something just black and white, because we have a lot of different things in between. The life isn't black and white. The world isn't black and white. A war isn't black and white, because it's something always in between, and you always have victims no matter what, no matter which side is wrong or right. So I think people should use the brain and think, how should it be if I was in the same situation, before you say too much or you try to force others to think just the same as you, because we can't be alike everywhere. We should be able to have our own opinions, but we shouldn't assume things. We should search for the information first. then you can always ask. No, the Hispanic people that don't really know what that is, because they think it's a fashion thing, and it's a hashtag that is very badly used too. Some people use that to just get clicks and everything, and I think it's sad. Yeah, of course, if you come to a channel like me and you suddenly see something totally different, you see something from the medieval days, or you see something about aircrafts and that type of thing, then I'm thinking, okay, another one that just say about goth. But then have looked at what other videos I have done when I've done do-it-yourself project that have to do with goth, or when I do my looks or lookbooks, or when I talk about the music. So for people, they need to do the research first, and when they got the research, they're gonna find out. But like I said, the music is the base, the rest is just an expression. If you want to express yourself, welcome, but you don't have to look exactly as others, because I think it's a little sad that people think that everyone need to see or look like the most popular trad goths too. That some of them not even are goths, they're just out for the fashion bit of it. Some year from now, they're probably not gonna be here anymore. They're not gonna do something else that is trendy. They just want to have their followers. They want to earn money on those things. They want to have free gifts from companies. But I think it's times is changing even that. I have seen some people talking about the cosmetic industry too. They started the makeup industry start to change that bit too. So maybe that's not the future anymore, when they realize that you actually need to be in person too in another way. You need to show respect for things. We can't like all parts, but don't judge a person for how they look like or what they like, because being goth is not breaking the law, at least not in the most part of the world. There are stupid countries that actually try to keep the people to not be free-minded or thinking about individuality and that type of thing. They just want to have their sheeps. They want to have this horde and everything like that. So you shouldn't be able to express yourself in any shape or form, especially if you are queer or a woman or a kid. It's a man's world, their thing. And I try to put it down to a religious thing too. So I think that's ridiculous. Yeah, but emo came almost at the same time, a little bit after, but there are also music-based things. So, and many people have friends that been, or they have started, like you have the random goth couple for an example. They are both into goth and emo too, because they have phases when they've been inside, and they like to combine those two sides too. And I don't see anything wrong with that, because like I said before, if you're a goth, you're not restricted. You don't have to be here. You can do whatever you want, as long as you love goth music. It's up to you. Let's see what it says more. Yeah, but some people don't like aging, and especially in Sweden, that is a very outside. If you reach a certain age, you're not worth to be who you are. You are supposed to be like granny or something, and I refuse to be a granny. And some people said, yeah, but you are the same age like my mom and dad, and you don't look or act the way, and you don't have the same interests. I said, yeah, but I'm not your mom and dad either, so maybe that's the reason. I don't know. And I have never wanted to change myself for someone else, because if people can't deal with who I am, they are not my friends. I can have friends that is not goths too. I don't have any problem with that, as long as they don't force me to not being myself. And I think I have friends that I even been the bridesmaid for, and they should have a team on it, but they said, we don't want you to change yourself for this wedding. You're gonna be the bridesmaid because you mean a lot for the wife, or the wife to be, and we want you to be yourself. That's the person we know. But I did try to do my goth side a little more towards the team, at least, so I should fit a little more in it. But I think it's still a great thing that they actually said that be yourself, and I think people should do that with everyone. No one should have to be afraid to show who they are. They should be able to go out without risking people being nasty or even hit you, or even in the worst case even kill you. Even today they're still happening. So I don't understand this world that we haven't come that far anyway, that people can still be who they are. Yeah, I know that people think about it, but that is because they haven't done any research and even asked the person. So if they mix up emos and goths, I think it's easy to actually see even on the look. I think it's harder actually today to see the difference between a person that look goth or is a metalhead, because it's some part of the metal community now start to look like many goths do too. So that's, I think, is the more bigger issue nowadays than emo. Emo, they already used like word that was yelling after us on the bus or something when we were out when I was younger. But that's always gonna be. And we know the fact it's not the same. Goth and emo is two different ones, but both is with some type of emotions and that type of acceptance for people and who they are. Even is emo music is even more emotions and that type of things. But the worst part is when some people think that metalheads is the same, because that's when it's really gone wrong. So, and I see that many metalheads also use the hashtag goth, and they maybe decided to go to a festival like Luna, for example. Yeah, they have some metal bands that come play some Luna too, like the 69 Eyes, that is goth metal. That is not goth music, it's goth metal. It's a metal part. But many goths do like to listen to metal music too, so that's why we can jump over the fences. We are not that. It's just people that haven't been into the scene that long that are the versus gatekeeper that says you can't be like that, you can't be like that, you can't listen to that, you don't listen to the right music, or you can only name the most usual ones. You need to listen to this more odd type of thing inside the subculture. And I think that's wrong, because when we live in different places, different countries and that type of things, we maybe don't discover, and it's coming so much new bands all the time, and even I start to hear about bands that I haven't heard before, maybe just some year old or something, but I still enjoy to find them, even if I have some type of goth that is in my heart. Goth rock is my thing that I have closest to my heart, and dark wave come after that and that type of things, and post-punk I do love too, and that type of thing. So yeah, shoegaze can be good in some type of thing if you're in mood for it, but it's a little special bit inside it, so some people don't like it, but we can't like all the same. So I think be open-minded, learn about the new, learn about the old, and put together what you like. And also realize that you actually can listen to other things too without losing your goth points. Just don't listen to Taylor Swift. You are on a war against Taylor Swift fans, I can see. I don't think I have any fan here that or subscriber that is a Taylor Swift fan, because then it shouldn't follow my channel at least, because I'm not Taylor Swift. I maybe look like the human version of Chucky's Bride, but that's all. So I actually was thinking that I should do like a Tiffany cosplay, because some people sometimes said in some of my makeup looks that I remind about this actress that did the human part of Tiffany in Chucky. So we have to see, but it's not that much to do. I'm looking forward to create more looks with FX makeup really, because I love to do those scars and wounds and all the Jackie stuff with blood, and you more realistic you look like, you better. I wish that I actually could go to a place and learn to do it proper with everything, and using all the things when you do every part prosthetics or whatever we call it, to change shapes and that type of things too. That should be awesome, but it costs so much money and I don't have the money. Maybe if someone in the future sponsor me, so that should be great. So I would love that, but I'm looking forward to do a lot of FX makeup again, because it's funny to see people react and I wonder if that's a real wound or not, because it looks like it. because you went to Stockholm in the wrong time. I warned you. I said that when you said you should go to Stockholm. I said you go in the wrong weekend, didn't I? Because I knew it should be Taylor Swift, and I know that it's gonna be crowded with that type of people. So you have to go when it's not that type of things. Watch the calendar next time, so you're not gonna meet that. But I think if you want to meet the real Swedes, don't go to Stockholm anyway. So if you really want to see real Swedes, go to small towns. And then, of course, you have to decide if you are a winter person or a summer person or what type of interest you have, because in Sweden, everything is doing by season. Not everything is open all the time, and not everything you can do all year round either, because it's about the season. But I should suggest, if you can, go up to northern Sweden and go to the small villages there. Maybe even go to a place where Sami people show people how they live their lives, because then you got the real people down to earth and everything like that. And a wonderful nature too, if that's what you're all about. Because if you're a party person, yes, Stockholm and Gothenburg, perfect. Malmö too. But if you want to see other things, you need to travel. You need to be around a lot of parts of Sweden, because everything is so spread. People can't believe it. We're not that many compared with other countries that lives in the country, but Sweden is a reasonably big country. Very long drive if you're going from the southern part to the most northern part. So it's a very long distance, and you don't do it for just over the night. It takes much more longer time, and it needs to be even planned proper too, depending on what you're interested in. So to see real Swedes, don't stick to the big cities, especially not Stockholm, I should say, because Stockholm is not the right place to be, not in my eyes. I never liked Stockholm in that type of way. It can be a beautiful town too in some parts, but for me, Stockholm is a place full of stress, and they think they are much better than everyone else and don't care about the rest of the Sweden, because everything is Stockholm for them. So that's my point. I never liked it. I prefer Gothenburg, and Gothenburg and Malmö I should go to. That's more better places to be, and of course even smaller places too if you want to see the real ones. I am not the typical Swede either, more than when it comes maybe to blonde hair, blue eyes, but we have all type of colors here too, and we have all type of people here too, because there's a lot of immigrants come to Sweden from many years, most of my lifetime. So it exploded during some of the wars too. So Sweden took a lot of people from other countries too. So we are so mixed, but I think that also give us more of everything, and also give us more interesting things, especially when it comes to food and other stuff too. So we can plug that into our lives too. More variety for people, more choices. What's the music in the background? I think it's travel playing stuff. It must be. I tried to hear what it is, but I can't hear that much through the wall. So it's some hard rock, and this sounds like an old ones, maybe from the 80s. But it's not that typically band he usually plays, so I can't remember the band name now. He used to be a big Slipknot fan, and he was a big fan of Iron Maiden and of what's the name on them? Def Leppard, for an example. But it's not them he's playing right now. But it's some type of metal music now. But it can go to goth for that type of music too, because he usually puts things on random. So suddenly you can hear other things, and you can hear dark wave like Blutengal and that type of thing. And I bet you know Blutengal, because that's from Germany with Chris Paul. And I think that's really interesting when it comes to German artists mainly. I know that you're speaking a lot of English and writing English and that type of things, but I know that when I go to lives, for example, when Blutengal have their lives and Chris Paul is talking, he talk very fast. So even the little bit of German I remember from school when I was less than 20 years old, that is long way back in time. So I can't really catch up with every word he says, and he refused to speak to the English comments too. He just talks with people that written in German, and I think that's a bit sad, especially when he sings a lot in English, and that could be a little problem sometimes because they do great music. But then we have other artists like Merzain, I think it's called, and he have like this type of radio channel or something that he do a lot of dark music and dark wave and all that type of stuff. Everything that goes over a little darker, like goth and that type of things. And he also his own artist nowadays and do a lot of music, even his own music. He had done 2 great covers, one Decor and one Depeche Mode cover that sounds really good. And he had this thing last month, because I was saying to him once when he had on Instagram had shorts, and he actually put up in a story that one, and he actually spoke German very slow, so I could actually understand the most of the thing. Plus I did know what he was talking about because I heard and saw that video before. So I was saying thank you for me in the DM that you actually spoke German that slow, so I actually have a chance that at least try to understand. But it could be good if you also combine English sometimes, or at least put a written down English. We know what you're talking about if people don't understand German. And he said he should do this try for 1 month, that he only gonna speak English in his stories on Instagram, and he did it. And he said, excuse if the grammar is not always proper, but I said, but my grammar is not proper either all the time, because for me English is just a second language. I am Swedish, I talk Swedish. So don't think about that, just there. We're gonna understand it. I don't think the people that only speak English gonna be angry either, so just try your best. And he tried this one, and it's actually faded out that he's gonna continue to do things in English too. So I think that's a good thing if you're gonna grow with it. If you want to have bigger support and everything like that, you maybe have to think outside Germany too. Even if you can still speak German, but you can combine it sometimes with English too. Yeah, I think Blut and Goth, I discovered them very early too, so and I have some of my favorites too, and Lucifer is one of them. I love the Blut and Gold, and Oxidizing Angel, the one that is a little more dance moving. They have one that have like a number after, but it's the first one I prefer. It's my favorite ones, and of course I love Black with them, and they have a lot of other songs too, and some are in German too, so sometimes they have to think that. And it's a little like when you see a lot of goths like Rammstein, for example, too, that is not goth music, but we do love that. We were actually listening to Rammstein when we were making us ready for going to goth clubs too when I was younger, so I don't see any problem with actually listening to other type of music too. Just listen, take inspiration. Artists do the same. This world should be boring if everyone should like exactly the same, or do exactly the same, or listen to exactly the same. We need to be different. Yeah, sometimes it could be that way, but I think it's the same with no matter which country you come from. If you're not from any country that mainly speak English, and I think it's the same with the bands over here in Sweden, that you can get a bigger effect to reach people if you are in English. And sometimes some music can sound very great, you can love it, but you don't know what they're saying. And you have, for example, if you take She Passed Away, that is a Turkish post-punk band. They do amazing music. I have seen them live. They are amazing on stage too, but I don't understand the word because I can't Turkish. I don't even know what to say. If I don't go to something that translates the text, the lyric, so I don't understand. So I think that's why maybe much people are actually changing this, try to do it in their own language, but then they found out it's maybe sounding even better with English, or you reach a bigger audience too. Hello, Janet. I have been sending for 1 hour and 20 minutes soon, so you are late, and I'm not sure how long more I'm gonna stay because I need to do other stuff too, not just sit here. Good morning to Truly Amazing. Here is in the middle of the day. Gonna see what the clock is now. It's 12. So it's in the middle of the day here. So I'm gonna start to make track for other stuff soon too. Uh, yeah, but sometimes German do sound cool too. Like Blue Tangle do some kind of things very good, and of course Rammstein do a lot of German lyrics very great too. But I think the problem is that many people don't understand the lyric then if you haven't translated it. So, but it can still look cool. I think it depends on the artist and what type of music you do actually, because it's a little like if you think about it, especially when you have done like black metal once upon a time, you maybe don't think black metal sounds that great if you had sang it in Norwegian, for example, because Norwegian is a language that I can't really take serious. I can understand a lot because I'm Swedish. It's a very similar language, but still very different. I think it's a little like if you from different kind of Europe, like Ukraine and Russia, they can understand some bits, but then they don't understand. The words don't mean the same anyway. So it's like that. So if they have sang in Norwegian, I shouldn't take the black metal music that serious either. So I think I can understand the point that it depends on who you are, and it might depend on the type of music and how you say the words in your own language too, if this sounds great with the music you're doing. I don't think so, but it might be because some people think maybe black metal have their heart in Norway. Even if I know that there's a lot of other bands from other countries, especially when it comes to South America, have a lot of like black metal and that type of things too. So it depends. Death metal and black metal from South America is very big too, but they have like this type of goth scenes over there too. So it's so amazing to see that all type of genders of alternative music is everywhere. So it doesn't matter what you are, you can be into a lot of different type of music too. And like I said, when I listen to music, it can be for a mood too. If I'm in a really bad mood and want to get my anger out, or if I feel rage or something, metal music is perfect because then I can live it out. And I shouldn't be stupid if I denied my past like a youngster too before goth even started, because I had other band I was listening back then that I loved. I had the part of me when I was much into Mötley Crüe, for an example, and Wasp was one of my favorite band back then. So you see, it's not just goth. You can listen to a lot of others, and if you have grown up, you started with some type of musical love, but then you maybe discover other things and think, oh, this me, because it may maybe match more, tick more boxes in what you like. So maybe that's why you have maybe one main one, but you can still have two big ones or three without a problem. So don't be afraid to like different kind of things. But when it comes to Norwegian, I can't really. I had friends that was from Norway, so of some reason, a a person from Norway when they're angry, I always start to jiggle because they can't sound that angry, because they have this type of the talk, so they sound a little too happy for being angry, if you know what I mean. And it's a little like when I was little, I thought everyone in Finland was very angry, because that is a very hard language, because when they talk in an angry way. But they don't have to be angry. That's just the way they sound like. So it's so different when it comes to languages, how it's gonna sound like. You gotta show you some dog from later. Yeah, you can do that. But I know that it's a band, but it's not a band that I often listen to. But it probably been on some of the clubs sometimes when I was hanging together with those people. When they one day it was a goth club, and next day when you went there it was black metal and death metal at the same time or something. Because usually those clubs in Gothenburg, at least, that have a little more alternative scene, they used to do different days to different alternative parts too. But it's really like me also like the old punk scene and that type of things too. So it depends on the mood. It depends on the mood. I can stick with everything if I'm in the mood. And the 80s music is one of them too that can make me very happy. I have some music that always makes me happy when I hear it, and I just want to go up and start to dance or something. Just enjoy life and forget the crazy world we're living in for the moment, because music is fantastic to forget everything around it. And now I start to be a little too warm to be in this room, so I'm actually gonna finish this live, and I'm gonna thank you everyone that been in this live and talking to me, and I hope you're looking forward to my new video next week. I'm gonna be from the medieval days at Bohus Fästning, Bohus Fortress in Kungälv, just north about Gothenburg here in Sweden. And I'm gonna film next week do-it-yourself project for the home, but I'm not gonna say more because I want to do a little more that type of things too. And I'm thinking about doing do-it-yourself project when it comes to clothing or accessories or something, but I haven't decided what to do. But I think I'm gonna start doing other stuff now. I'm gonna see, yeah. And you have a good day too, Phoenix. And like I said, I'm gonna say hey då to the Swedish ones. Arrivederci if you talk like Italian, and what you say, Auf Wiedersehen if you're from Germany, Nekemin from Finland, goodbye if you talk English, and I hope everyone stay safe and stay weird and be nice to each other. Love you all. Thanks for watching. Bye.